Could you imagine like Dad Salvatore teaching kids how to make zombies on YouTube?
No, you should make a TikTok like with your zombies, like those TikToks dedicated to cats. Just like, so hey, guys, like your zombies just like bumping into something. Oh, he's just being goofy. Put a funny filter over it. Do like little singy voice, like my zombie is getting his head bumped into a wall.
Funny hats to wear. With
Like that one
costumes
guy
on
with
them.
his
Griller
cat.
dances with him.
Yeah.
Teaching Tommy to floss. Like
No, Tommy, you don't use the plastic handle. You use the bristled end of the toothbrush. Silly Tommy.
All right. The following recording / show takes place in the world of darkness and explores the narratives of personal horror. This story is a work of fiction and is not official World of Darkness material. Many of the themes are portrayed from a place of empathy, but may be uncomfortable to some listeners. Episodes may contain coarse language, sexual content, mental and emotional abuse, violence, mental illness, and blood. Listener discretion is advised. Portions of the materials are the copyrights and trademarks of Paradox Interactive AB and are used with permission. All rights reserved. For more information, please visit worldofdarkness.com.
fantastic. We might as well go right into our intros here. No, the cameras moved. Like, I know they moved over here on OBS, but moving on how I do the radial dial, that's the worst part. That's the
The curse of Pixby.
The curse of Pixby.
It's a big deal.
The curse of Pixby. No. Now Charlotte has to do the intro first.
But now it looks weird because, like, when I look at myself on my screen, now I'm looking off to the side. It's not right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Milwaukee by Night. I am Charlotte, and I am going to be playing Sera, the La Sombra. You can find me on some internet spaces at Foxfire22. That is FOXFYRE22. And if you haven't told at least one friend about this show tonight, I'm very disappointed in you. Scott, take it away.
Hi, my name is Scott, and I will be playing Ben Sahar, the local Tremere, doing God knows what in God knows where. I don't do stuff on Twitter except post things that make people angry, so don't follow me.
The man with no name, Ty Brannigan, the Ty Romancer. How's it going?
Good evening. It is going incredibly well this evening. Got nice and fired up before we started. So I will be playing Salvatore, the caitiff by choice this evening. If I can survive my trip to the Umbra, and that is questionable.
Awesome. Sam next. How's it going, Sam?
I'm doing all right. I'm Sam. I'll be playing Cass, the resident Malkavian, on coming soon to OnlyFans. Yeah.
And last but not least, my newest friend in the world, Pixby. How's it going?
Oh, no. Well, hello, everyone. It's me, Abby. And tonight, I'm going to be your disgusting little Nosferatu. Not with the 6 sagging tits. That's on another show. Pixie.
Fantastic. That other show, by the way, I was watching that. I just intended to show up to hand my lurk over and, help boost signal for friendos and stuff. And it was, that GM was, I terrible with names. It takes me a while to learn them, but she was
Maria, yeah.
She was awesome. Her
Maria
cadence,
is amazing.
her cadence was solid. Her flavor text was like chef's kiss. Like, I'm a horror connoisseur, and I was not prepared for viscous sand, like that fucking slam dunk of a descriptor, like, and that was just like the tip of the iceberg. So that was pretty great. So Rainbow's Razor Blades, like, that shit's dope. Are you going back on there? Is that, you said it was a one shot?
Oh yeah, it is going to be an ongoing series for Amalia, Misguided Magic.
Right on. Yeah, so that was awesome, but I am, of course, the magical Mr. Mephisto. That's some weirdo fantasy land. Who cares about fantasy crap? Around these parts, we care about spooky stories set in Milwaukee by night. I will be your storyteller this evening, guiding you through this world of darkness. To recap last week, the Coterie found themselves finally in the sights of this lupine conflict they'd heard about. They encountered what they've pretty much taken to assuming is a glasswalker named Caius, and fought them basically through everything at Caius, including 2 cars. Well, I guess Abby more threw that one of the cars at a fire hydrant, but the other car definitely got thrown at that werewolf. And they managed to slay it. Sal took a trinket, but along the way, multiple Coterie members ended up feeding on the lupine. Now, Decker famously quoted, even in previous sessions, that drinking werewolf blood is like riding lightning, or is like drinking lightning. And we had a sort of poignant question from someone in chat gang, like, oh, does drinking lupine blood drive vampires crazy? Well, yes, and in Milwaukee by night. See, Milwaukee is a city of dichotomies. It is a place of madness, ever on the edge. I think the Coterie is beginning to learn that, and when they were sort of coming down after these, quite frankly, immense displays of willpower and I guess humanity in the face of the sort of lupine blood, they managed to actually sort of harness that energy in that fight. But it was when they were coming down that Pix and Salvatore lost themselves. Pix, in a sort of esoteric manner, she collapsed and her consciousness sort of drifted sideways, and sort of the worst off of the two was Salvatore, who found himself pulled past the gauntlet and into the Shadowlands. The Shadowlands, the Umbra, there's many names for it, but really what everyone needs to know is that it is a place of spirits, ghosts, and all manner of otherworldly entities. One such entity, formerly known as the Intruder, whose name we're actually about to learn this evening due to some other goings-ons. See, Ben Sahar was sort of MIA after meeting with the judges to determine Sera's fate as a sired vampire without the permission of the prince. They tend to meet a horrible fate. Salvatore swore the tradition of the accounting, and Sera's fate was sort of forestalled. But the conversation just, the Coterie saw a side of Ben Sahar they hadn't seen, and Ben Sahar went missing, wasn't part of that conflict, was doing something else, and we're going to catch up a little bit on that. But they made in finally shaking their bonds of their sort of blood bond from Elias, Ben Sahar made a different deal, made a different binding. Which brings us back to the rest of the coterie, seeking out Ben Sahar, the only sort of ground, the haven they have to go to, club anything. Cass and Sera gathering Pixie's seemingly day-sleeping body and companion baddie, along with evidence they hope will either lead them to more Sabbat or suffice in and of itself as a Sabbat presence and evidence thereof for the Prince Decker. Took poor Jimmy's mangled car to club anything, seeking Tyler's help and hopefully looking for Ben Sahar again, who, as previously mentioned, has been MIA for the last night and a half. So that's where we find where we find most of the coterie anyway. And as the sort of credits rolled over like a night, a starry, shattered mirror ceiling of the world last night, Salvatore had turned back on some gaping, radial saw-mouthed beast, some ghastly entity of all limbs and torso that was about to make a little snack of Pix. We saw Salvatore leap to Pixie's aid with the tree in sight, with an exit in sight for Salvatore, with mere strides to go to be free himself. He turned around. But first, we're with Ben Sahar in the closing moments of a ritual that they performed last week. Elias strewn out on the altar where Nails was awakened. I was going to use the descriptor where, something good once done on this altar, but it remains to be seen if waking a Methuselah Malkavian mute who can't help but let his insanity drip into reality. Remains to be seen if that's a good thing or a bad thing, I suppose. But still, more dark dealings, more rituals. We have Elias on the altar, and we kind of hand-waved over some of the details of that previously because a lot of what Ben Sahar encountered was sort of internal. The camera now inside sort of Ben's mind as Ben's in the room. Elias using the last... Elias sort of with the grip of this other entity on Elias's very essence. A sort of planar diablerie, as it were, taking place. Elias's screeches rattle through the bones and the rafters and the sort of mausoleum that Ben Sahar has staged their ritual room as. And Elias gets out a final sentence before the pact is sealed with this entity that Ben Sahar sort of sees through a tear in the very reality before them, through these black shadow braziers that are operating almost like little pylons, like little, sort of like A-B posts that tear reality asunder and allow you to see into this sort of dark realm, this sort of outer darkness. It looks a little bit like a lake, come to think of it. Like the bottom of a lake. No, never mind don't mind our unreliable narrator here. The last thing Elias says. They know about the convergence. The hand knows. You're a fool. Ben Sahar. The worst fate is saved for traitors of the highest order like you. Ah! And Elias's very soul is ripped through this riff, leaving but a husk, a desiccated husk, on your altar. You see this twisted, sort of melted, inky black form that's unnaturally tall, always just unnaturally taller than anything around it, just as if it warps very reality. You know, it fits in whatever room it's in. Maybe you're smaller in its presence, who knows? Very Alice in Wonderland, really. You asked its name during the ritual, and it didn't give you a proper introduction as you were haggling, as you were bartering. If you'd like, maybe we sort of handle it off camera, but if you want to give the Cliff's Notes to the audience here of what a conversation might have sounded like, what type of things you obviously offered Elias, but what did you ask in return, and what price maybe did you pay?
So I essentially acquired more power, in essence of giving it a bit of control on my fate. If you're going to boil it down to some cliff notes.
So you, without knowing this entity's name, this intruder's name, intruder is what it's called, by the way, what others call it when it shows up in their visions, when it shows up in their realities, when it shows up in their planes. That's why it doesn't... And it's taken the time to ponder as you have come to an accord. Magic isn't enough. Blood magic isn't enough. You want something else. Something that you can pull from someplace further, deeper, and darker. And all it will cost you is a touch of fate. And of course, being our anchor. My anchor, our anchor. You can call us, call me, Exterus, Noxx.
You have a deal.
Your beast that's been standing beside you, this sort of like I almost imagine what's the actor's name? Just fantastic actor in the highly underrated Constantine movie. Plays the devil at the end. Great suit, you know,
That's
like
the best devil.
yeah, best iteration. I almost imagine your beast kind of like in a white suit like that, you know. Maybe rocking some wingtips, but I almost imagine your beast just nice, just clean, well dressed, sort of like decently kempt hair with a couple frays of sweaty bangs that escape every now and then that show something beneath its surface. And Exterus Noxx reaches this hand, a hand we can almost sort of see a graphic match to in the Shadowlands. Almost like simultaneously as that hand was reaching out and as we saw it at all the different angles, as its thumbs sort of incidentally tore at these little seams in the Shadowlands, in the Umbra, tearing open one of these rifts and allowing in this very ghastly entity that currently might be twisting somebody else's fate in the Coterie. That same hand, just one of them, pierces the Umbra, comes through this rift that you have in your basement, grabs the face of your beast, begins squeezing it. You see the tar coming and exploding out from its knuckles as you can hear bones crunching and cracking, and you hear your beast howl in pain. You howl in pain. You feel this. Your very essence that drives you, that keeps you alive, sometimes in the worst of ways. It's exposed, it's hurt, it's reeling, it's a caged animal, it can't escape. And then, as soon as that sort of tar begins to leak out as if it's about to spill all the way onto your floor, as if it's about to eclipse the intricate ruins you have carved for this ritual, they all get sucked back in. And your beast stands before you, much the same as before, but now with a face of porcelain. And you can see the little cracks on the sides, along the eyes, along the cheek. And you can see this wisping black, the inky abyss, barely kept behind it. And it says to you in a voice much its own that you've come familiar with, "That was interesting."
Step 1.
We are not alone in here. You and I, Ben Sahar. Not anymore. Almost mocking you.
Some things have to happen.
You've seen through the hand's lie now, have you not?
Everything that thinks it's in control lies.
Do you think you're in control?
Ask Elias. Not yet.
How many lies will you tell to be in control?
All of them.
And still there's the matter of these secrets. And with that, Ben exits their room. The Brazers, you maybe flick your wrist back at them and they go out. Like you've some sort of new will over darkness yourself. Darkness and flame. And you ascend the steps. Head out to your trusty, rebuilt, highly pimped out, custom pickup truck. And head towards Club Anything. This was, of course, hours before the Coterie fought a lupine. Or rather, as they fought it, right? So you would have been at Club Anything before the mangled remains of a vehicle show up at your doorstep. You've been ignoring Tyler's sort of like calls and commands all evening. And when the sort of weight of the scene all catches up to Ben Sahar, and we're in the current continuity, we find Ben Sahar at their desk, hands buried, as these new voices in your head become difficult to balance from your own. Become difficult to sort out. Like hearing the voice of the beast alone does something to any kindred. Now this like enhanced, mutated bestial voice, and with all the whispers it brings with, all the whispers that Salvatore and Pixie heard moments before, it's maddening, cacophonous, and you still have this urge, this compulsion you haven't fulfilled. You head over to your bookshelves. You start flipping books, the tomes you've collected over years of being in Milwaukee, many of them discreet, things that you've managed to sneak out of the chantry before it was sort of moved around by a couple of the other Tremere before you got here, or as you got here. Treasure seekers and various Camarilla hoi polloi, all with their own excuses on, Karna sent me, or the prince from here sent me, or, Versailles sent me, right? All of them coming to to pilfer one of the greatest chantries ever known to kindred kind. And you manage to get a few. And it's now some of those books and tomes that you consult. You need to know You need to know about Abigail Winters. You need to know about Lucy. You need to know about Arjun Shaw. Look at that fucking smug face. You still see it in your fucking head right now, don't you? You go to your computer. You try a few Google searches, maybe against your better judgment. You troll Facebook. Oh, you're slumming it like one of the kind. You need to know, Ben. And hours pass. Is it days? Did you retire to your coffin? Did you sleep here? You don't know. You've lost track. But you find the secrets. It's not in the laptop. You've flung that across the room. I don't know. Maybe a day ago. Who knows? One of those tomes. And then the whispers. Then a couple phone calls. And as you finally satiated your compulsion, I sent you some DMs at the beginning of the evening. You feel somewhat yourself again. You collapse back to your desk. One hand on your forehead, one eye out, one eye in, covered. And you hear a familiar voice. I don't know if Ben Sahar considers many people to be friends, but this one once considered you a friend. Not going to have to worry about you, am I, Ben? You hear the voice of Dante. And you can... I don't need to tell you about what's underneath his duster.
I'm going to mentally think it, the phrase, not yet.
I see. You know I don't play these games our kind play. Bigger fish, all that. Never been one for the politics. Try to stay independent so I can do my job. And you see Dante in the corner. His sort of thick, dark hair pulled back into a familiar bun. Keep it out of the way for all the killing. Make sure none of the blood gets on it, right? Wearing a decent three-piece suit with a long coat over it. He's rocking his like Italian leather boots. These ones are a nice sort of oiled black with a red instep. You know, maybe hinting at how he walks on hell himself, right? Like I said, you go way back, so I don't need to tell you what's under that coat. I don't play the politics well because I don't consider them useful. Maybe that's why I didn't hesitate to call you a friend once. Still don't. And right now I see a friend on a path he used to abhor. I'm not here as the monster slayer. Not here as a man who wields a dragon's fang as a fucking blade. I'm here as your friend, Ben. Where you're walking, our paths don't stay parallel any longer. You know that eventually, right?
That happens to all of us.
Thought
But I just killed a very large monster.
and let another one in. We always saw eye to eye. And one of Ben's eyes still in his hand, right? Maybe a nice little graphic metaphor, visual metaphor. We always saw eye to eye. do what we had to do. Even the really bad stuff. If it meant we took down something worse. Can you think of many things worse than what lurks in the outer dark?
Can think of a few.
I'll leave that to your discretion then.
Again, I don't expect anybody to walk this sort of road and make it out alive.
So you don't plan on coming out alive?
I mean, do you?
Dante lifts one of his hands. You see the plain, sleek, black leather glove, the sort of almost surgical driving gloves, right, that he wears. Looks down at it. I've already died a couple times. A couple times more than most kindred. You know that. Starting to think I can't. Like, for real.
Hopefully, don't take that too seriously. That'll make you sloppy.
No, it's not like that. It's like the poem my mom used to read. Like, this is hell. You don't die in hell. You're trapped in it.
The way I see it is, this basically becomes a bomb, and you take as many as you can with you when you can.
We've always had different ends. Compatible interests, but different ends. Like I said, I thought we had more time. He reaches over and grabs his, like Panama or whatever hat, puts it on, careful to make sure that his bun goes up under it so he can look like a decently dressed, if slightly out of place, gangster from the 50s, right? You got the dagger?
Do?
I don't think you need that blood anymore, do you?
No, I don't.
We're still square. If you need me, you've got Mercy's number.
Then I'll talk to you later. We'll see how many more monsters we can take down before it ends.
Absolutely. Ben, uncharacteristically, Dante goes out the front door. He opens it, and this is where Sera and Cass recently, given clothes from Tyler, and unfortunately, all Tyler had lying around was some sort of Canadian chic lumberjack style clothes, like flannel, denim, maybe a toboggan, a toque. You see Dante in the sort of silverish gray charcoal suit with the black pinstripes, little bits of red accenting it. He's got the red textured vest underneath and the red, like I said, on the instep of his Italian shoes or Italian boots. He nods at Cass, glances at Sera, and then walks past you. Good evening, he says, kind of in a nonchalant tone, and makes his way past.
Evening, Virgil.
Smiles. Cass. Virgil, heads down the steps and exits Club Anything. The Coterie, he didn't close the door behind him. The Coterie members can look inside. They see the hours moments. Who knows? Just an inordinate amount of damage to Ben Sahar's office. If you didn't know better, you might think maybe Virgil got into a tussle with Ben, but then you see like the way the books are scattered about, you see Ben's like laptop flung from his position, and you see Ben single hand over the eye, sort of sitting at their desk.
Is he one of us?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Friend of yours, or?
Ben, Sera, and Cass are standing in your doorway. Seem to be talking to you.
Oh no,
I'm
that was
wearing,
directed at Sam.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
pretty. As far as like clothing and stuff, right now you have like an undershirt, muscle shirt, and like a pair of like normal jeans, but no shoes. Hair is pretty disheveled, and then he's got the various symbols and stuff that are like tattooed on him. And of course, as Meph described, he's got the hand down like this, and he's seemingly either reading something in his lap or talking to himself.
How far away from us is Ben?
Ben, you'd be sort of outside the door, I'd imagine, still, because you, like you said, you were still talking at Cass, and they're like sort of in and then around the corner, right at their desk. So few paces, right? You know,
Not really good visual from us to him if he's around the corner.
not like perfect. You can make out. You have like our vision. We have peripheral and like a slightly extended peripheral. You're in the sort of extended peripheral thing. Ben Sahar's around, and you've made out a form, and you're familiar enough with each other that you're like, yeah, that's got to be Ben Sahar. But even they seem different, from what you've become familiar with these last 2 nights. You've only met Ben a little bit, but Ben seemed like a pretty together person. This is not a together person. Do you enter the office?
Yes, and Castle offhandedly saying, we met once, in response to Sarah's question.
And I'll follow Cass in, kind of looking around, checking the place out.
Much like my description earlier might have conveyed, this place is a mess. Books everywhere. Like, the only thing pretty much undamaged is a really awesome picture of Lilith on the wall with a snake. It's a specific painting in a set, actually. I'll let Scott share that with the Coterie later.
You been fighting werewolves in here too, Benny?
Y'all got demons to fight Cass, right? You know that.
I think this is where you reveal you want to take over the description.
So as he's talking, he's like kind of like rubbing his eye, and then he goes to open his eye, and you notice now that the eye is just white.
Not wearing shoes, just in a pair of jeans, a muscle shirt, and this now suddenly like one white eye.
And disheveled hair that's like kind of half like over his face.
Yeah.
I'm going to stare at him, not saying anything, just kind of staring at, like not comprehending what could have possibly gone on.
Are you going for like a Cable cosplay there, Chief, or?
No, I was thinking more like a pirate, I need you guys to stand in my good eye.
And where we be staring the ship, Captain?
wherever I want. Broke some chains earlier tonight, and it's feeling pretty good. What have you guys been up to?
About that. We got in a little tussle with,
Frickin' werewolves, man. Werewolves.
I'm disappointed I missed it.
Oh yeah, you could have had some fresh lightning.
I'm gonna reach back under my desk and pull out my sword. Be like, I've been carrying this thing around all these years, wanting to stab something, and I missed it.
Well, there'll be another time. I'm sure there's plenty more.
Yeah, one got away.
I'm glad to hear it.
Anyways, speaking of getting away, is Sera still carrying Pixie? Or if we
Didn't what's his name take her off our hands?
Tyler has basically hidden the vehicle and has Pixie in a safe place downstairs in one of the sort of panic rooms, for lack of a better term. Like Lucy and Elizabeth spoke in one of them. Ben Sahar's club has a couple of them, so Pixie's currently like in one of them. A snack, quote unquote, basically like an ice chest, with a couple blood bags are in it for when she does stir, and she's secure and safe. There's a coffin that she's currently like in right now because that's Ben Sahar's style. But yeah, so Pixie's been brought inside the club. The car needs to be dealt with, and I seem to recall Sera feeling a bit of an impulse to return it to Jimmy, to be the one that returns it to. Or sorry, Jimmy.
Break the news to him.
Yeah.
That's probably better her than Cass. Good at breaking cards, but not news. Well, you see, I think Sal's he's walking around Ghost Town looking for Caspers, and I think Little Beth that is there with him, not physically, but something like that.
I mean, if anybody's going to be lost in the ghost land, it'd be those guys. It'd be a good shout.
So, if you can finish your thought, Cass, and we'll cut to...
Yeah, we were hoping that... Well, I figured you'd know more about that kind of thing. And what we can maybe do, or what we should expect or prepare for.
I just need a few minutes, and I can get together something.
Of course.
Do you have a altar on site here? Do you have a...
I can impromptu make one. I don't have any like superficial one like I do at home.
Okay. So do you have RJ need to gather some components? Do you...
I guess it depends on which thing I'm doing. I might need him to go shopping if we're going to go through the options.
As you consider the options, as Cass's words echo about being trapped in the other place, and of course, if anyone would be trapped, it'd be those two type thing. We see the jowls come down and just clamp on part of Salvatore's like arm, torso, body, like just currently you can feel those teeth, that organic saw blade just beginning to sort of grind into your flesh. Pix is on the floor, sort of off and to the side. She's probably clambered backwards with that stupid fucking trash can. It's sort of evaporated a little bit in the Shadowlands, but like, you know, you can still see sort of the outline of it as it's still dispersing, and you know, maybe Pix has scrambled that direction. We'll have y'all go into initiative. This thing is just going to go after you, sort of in more of a narrative mode here. So take over some agency of your character. We have Sal currently being noshed on a little bit, and you're still prone, Pixie, but we're back in the Shadowlands now.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I did save my roll from last time on the Strength Brawl with a willpower reroll for a total of 6 successes for this first whatever it is, as I launched myself. Sal kind of lunges forward towards this creature, and as its jaws clamp down and they begin to be locked in this struggle, Sal just roars to Pixie, "Get to the tree!" And
I think
does
Pix,
what
still
he can
prone,
to
is
hold
just
her.
gonna look wide-eyed between him, the beast, and then reach for her pocket and pull out her little pocket knife and just stab recklessly into it.
All right. So Pixie showing no flee. Your beast whispers in your ear, Pixie. He told us to run. He told us to leave. The tree's right there. We can make it. He made a stupid decision, and he can tell Thompson exactly what we know you did. Just leave him. Leave him. You don't even have to feel bad.
I'm not
about
leaving
this,
him
man.
behind. I'm just gonna, almost with just of course, an inhuman quickness, just continue driving my little switchblade into this thing.
So you can roll a dexterity melee to stab this thing.
Hell yeah.
And then I've got
And I'm
your
gonna rouse my blood.
your 6 brawl over there. So I'm going to have it. I got to get a dice pool for your 6 brawl, and then we'll.
Hell yeah. Oh boy, is my sheet not registering? Please don't do that.
All right. Sal, you take 2 points of unhalved damage. As it, like, you grapple it, and its mouth grapples you back.
Now, quick reminder: health is stamina +3, plus my fortitude for resilience. So would my health health go to 10? Okay.
Yeah,
and I take 2.
Yeah,
or 3?
Salvatore's a brick shit house. You take 2.
Okay. 8 left.
Well, it can go through it and then back because you can ag. Yeah.
Lost
Oh,
there.
you're fine. Yeah, you're fine when you took damage from it acting defensively.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So as Sal thinks that hurt, you know, he begins just kind of muttering, "Let me in, let me in, let me in," calling to the tree. And
Well, let's resolve Pixis thing
Yeah.
first, and then we'll.
Yeah, it kicked me out of the game for a minute there.
You are stabbying.
Yes, I am stabbying, and I'm also rousing my blood because I'm not a particularly powerful little kindred. But let's see if my sheet will actually let me roll now that I've reloaded.
And I
I don't
like.
get hungrier.
Perfect.
Fuck you, beast. Dexterity +2. Let's roll. Oh, motherfucker, you're not gonna roll. Oh, there it is. Took a minute.
Holy shit.
Okay. So it gave you double rolls, so I'm going off the first one here. Fucking
Yeah.
Pix shrugging off the voice of her beast buries this like switchblade like right up in its, you know, because it's got these like two arms that are also its legs type thing, sort of right up in the like the crux of its elbow, just plunges to where you can feel your fist go, like fist hit its gnarly, nasty
Oh yeah,
flesh.
like full like the boys just oh.
The gun show, yeah, comes out for Pix here. Now it's in a manner like, I don't know how many Kindred Pix has stabbed, but in a manner similar to like trying to harm Kindred and stuff like that. Like you don't, it's not like bleeding or gushing ichor, or like if this had been like a normal thing you stabbed, it would be bleeding out right now. But this is just a solid shot, and it's kind of still lumbering over you. But like, wow, you got all of it. And your knife has, is it a +1 or a +2? I believe light blades are +1. If it's like a knife, it's probably just a +1, but it could be a +2.
Fuck you, you ghost bitch. It is a +1.
+1, okay.
E.
Yes.
It is. I imagine it's just like a little butterfly
like,
flip blade, so it's probably just going to be a +1.
Yeah, so like
One.
little butterfly knife or switchblade. Got it. You're cutting out just a little bit, so I'm kind of trying to repeat what you say so that we're all on the same page here.
E.
Okay. So Sal has been
my internet has died to shit itself. Yeah, butterfly.
Yeah, right on. And Sal's begun chanting to himself as this thing goes to like, it's already got Sal there. It's going to continue to like basically try to like try to like work him in as these teeth sort of like undulate and try to like pull Sal's torso into its its gaping maw even deeper. You can roll, it'd be strength, brawl essentially to resist.
Okay. And I think with my brawl specialty, my friend Scott taught me about specialties,
Mm-hmm.
I can just click roll and it should add the die. It didn't add the dice. I'll just roll a d10 and you tell me if it's... No. Okay. So 4 successes. I'm going to do a willpower reroll. I'm burning through that. I have used now 4 of my 6. Adding 2 more.
Specifically because of willpower, Sal holds firm, like shifts weight back and like just begins to pull back while still saying, while still chanting. I'll let you say what you're chanting because I like the Sal voice.
Let me in. Let me in.
Sal, you go to rouse your blood. One of your more
and I get hungry.
One of your more discreetly acquired trades, we'll say, from Tyler some nights ago. That maybe folks remember a light conversation, then leaving to go meet up with a friend and heading to a freezer, and they maybe didn't notice that they were seeing a master, criminal working a little bit of an exchange, and you rouse this sort of more discreet, like I said, acquired gift, this blood that you took into yours and started working, and you rouse your blood and with this technique you've trained, and I'll let you take over for a little bit here. What are you? I think you're trying to activate a discipline right now.
So Sal's hands have been just trying to pummel this thing and hold on, and as he's chanting, his fingernails start to elongate, but rather than the dark nail beds.
Let me stop you there. So as you go to sort of manifest this protean gift that Tyler maybe exchanged something for. Totally not Serpentis, protean. Tried to exchange this for. That chant you've been saying, you hear the tree answer back. And where claws should begin manifesting, you see your veins from wrist to heart. Picks, you've seen this whole time that Sal's been sort of like walking on these roots, right? You see them switch from their sort of beating crimson color to a couple of them go straight black and into him, and almost like siphon some of his vitae back out and toward the tree, and they take over Sal's understanding of protean, what Sal was trying to do, and no, this is the tree's protean. Now you continue your description as what was supposed to be, just feral weapons become something else.
Oh shit!
Entirely. Go ahead.
It's this scraggly, wooden, almost branch-like talon. Looks like an elongated thorn, but a scraggly thorn, not one of those straight like rose thorns, but it bends and curves and slightly hooked and barbed. And that is what he begins to rake this creature, this monster with, as he fights for his life, as he fights for his coterie.
Yeah, so you manifest the discipline, and you can... Yeah, a version of it. This is the tree's protean now. Look at me. It is the discipline now.
How do I do a specialty? Let's see if that works. That works. Oh, God.
Oh, okay. So we won't know this is a bestial failure until I get you a dice pool to work against.
Oh, God.
Oh, with the tree's discipline, this could be the best bestial failure ever.
That's the best and worst I've ever rolled at the same time.
Like simultaneously. And you can't willpower because all of your dice were.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. You manifest these, like, tree talons, this bark-like skin, these, like, barbs that are, like, coming out in the wrong directions out of your hands and stuff like that. It's painful. It's the Wolverine, every time he pops his claws, it hurts thing. It reminds him. It hurts you. To manifest this but it's for the coterie, it's for the right reason. And your beast asks you. And just that little bit of hesitance in asking you, what have you done to us? Manages your strike to go like wide, like you just sort of like whiff in front of this huge thing, like it's got its teeth bearing on you, and you're kind of bringing in this mitt, trying to claw into its thing, and like you kind of like jerk your head as you hear your beast, and you just kind of swing down and off to the side instead of like true and inward, like just one of those, like you almost like find yourself swatting at yourself. In this moment of letting yourself slip, that pain becomes very real. You're not sure if it's the maw of this creature or if you actually hurt yourself with manifest disrupting your protean just now. But you take another 4 unhalved damage.
We'll use toughness to subtract the fortitude of all superficial damage sustained. This occurs before having, cannot reduce it below 1, but I would take that to 1, I believe, with toughness.
All right. And your blood in your hardened skin, you sort of resist this whatever's going on, these teeth, and you're just, Sal is in a whirlwind of viscera and combat and thoughts and beast and picks. You've got this dagger, this butterfly knife plunged in its like the crook of its elbow. What do you do?
I'm gonna twist that blade. I'm gonna keep going in on this thing. I'm fighting dirty. And I'm once again gonna rouse my blood. Although the beast isn't happy about that.
By the way, thanks for the raid there, Haywell. Welcome to Milwaukee by Night, a Vampire the Masquerade actual play.
That's 4 successes.
Unlike before, it's now wise to you. It underestimated you maybe before, and this time it's sort of like swats at you. And as you're just that sort of like one broad arm, and it's kind of got its mouth wrapped around half of Sal's like torso, kind of almost treating him like a bipod, right? Like it's bearing down on him, and it swings this arm like wildly in your direction. And as you're kind of going to stab it, you're forced to just sort of like duck back, and you don't quite hit anything.
Getcha.
Its turn. It's gonna stay the course. You just got even more delectable. You brought your own seasoning, your own herbs to the party. A little dry rub. Kindred steak. You can roll to sort of like, counter grapple essentially. Like some sort of Salvaneth dryad, perhaps.
Holy shit.
That was a good one.
That's 11. Messy critical.
Yeah, so you finally shake off that like disruption that this protean being overtaken by your tree, by your friend. And your beast even's like, no, we can deal with this. This can help us. I wonder what ghost monster tastes like. And it's trying to bite you, and you put both your arms up and just fucking grab its mouth and begin to pry it apart, and your thumbs dig into the insides of its mouth, and you inflict some damage. So, it's 11 successes. Your claws have a modifier of +2?
2, yes, and it's unhavable, I believe.
Yep. Yeah. In fact, this is a spooky ghost, and you have spooky ghost protean, spooky ghost tree protean. You do ag. This thing howls as your talons that it should shrug off like normal kindred protean laughs at it. Even though this discipline's good for fighting kindred. Not what it is. No, it finds that it's as these thumbs dig up into the roof of its mouth and down below where a tongue should be, it just into that soft tissue. Just it howls. This cacophonous roar. I mean, it's you and Pix again.
Sal's going to rouse his blood in an attempt to even strengthen his attack now that he senses the fact that he has inflicted pain, and just roars back into the mouth of this creature. It's, it's unintelligible. It's not words. It's just beast.
Oh yeah, your beast like howls and it's just back in its face.
And then
I
don't know how to add dice.
Yeah, this is something we need to sort out with our.
I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna do strength modifier 2, and I'm gonna roll and see if that does it. And then I'm going to willpower reroll. 3 dice.
See, after this is going to be the conversational boss fight.
Jesus
and you're gonna
Christ.
have no willpower.
Ugh.
Possible bestial failure.
Sometimes the dice just don't want you to be cool. After you've been epic, they're like, nope, take this round off.
You're going to take another 4 unhalved as your beast finally embracing the tree feels the barbs and the scorn of it back at it. No, you don't control me, I control you type thing. Like, you're not locked in here with me. Or I'm not locked in here with you, you're locked in here with me. And the tree, as your beast is like, yeah, tear it apart. Eat the frickin' ghost monster. Yeah. It's just like your veins surge and yet more barbs erupt out of your body. Now you have like this mane of them coming out of the back. It's shredded your really nice jacket as if it wasn't already messed up from a Gauru. And
The real tragedy here.
I need to call my tailor immediately upon returning to the world.
Pix. I'm sorry, you're muted somehow. You weren't muted before. There we
wasn't. That was cheap. This is great. I did not take any particular. I didn't take any combat disciplines. I'm just gonna. Is it still up? Is it still fighting as like Ben is screaming into its mouth?
Yes, it's Sal's screaming into its mouth and screaming at himself now. Like,
I'm gonna do what I've been doing. I'm going to go in as it's getting yelled at, rousing my blood. Fuck, I'm hungrier. And keep stabbing it. My beast is getting fed up.
fuck the knife, Pix. Use your teeth. If you're gonna stay here and fight it like an idiot when we could be running to the tree, you might as well grab a snack. Bite it. Just bite it.
You know what? I think you're right for once. Asshole that you are. I'm gonna start eating this thing.
Yes! Yes! So this will be a strength brawl. I'll allow a dex brawl in your case, because, you know, more like nimbly bimbly cat stuff, right? Like,
Sal can't communicate effectively right now, but his inner Sal is like cheering for Pix.
You will enjoy you will enjoy one extra die to this as you are assisted in this sort of grapple attempt with.
Yay! 3 successes. Not bad for someone with 0 dots in brawl.
The best part is you beat it by 1.
I imagine it's like when a cat, like a feral cat, is like latched onto someone. It's just like that. She's all just claws and teeth and fangs, just at her little pink hoodie. It probably has Hello Kitty emblazoned on the back too, but like badass Hello Kitty.
Yeah. So a couple things happen. That's my legally distinct from Jason Carl-ism there. To be fair, I say a couple things happen. That's my normal colloquialism. I just can't help but know how it sounds like a few things happen at once, right? Or several things happen at once. So a couple things happen. Pix, you lunge onto this, you know, and like a feral cat, you know, maybe even like pitch the butterfly knife and just, right? You catch it on the broadside and just sink your fangs in. And it like begins to, Sal's still got its mouth gripped, you know, with both claws, and the maw is very slowly closing on Sal as he resists. And you manage to like just kind of catch it right where I guess its neck must be. You know, you get a good leap in there. You know, this thing towers up, and you've had that dagger in the crook of its elbow, and you just sort of like bound up and just catch it right on, well, not quite the neck, it'd be a little bit more on the shoulder broadly, right? Like, and just tear this chunk. And it starts spurting this sort of like ectoplasmic ichor everywhere. And it almost begins to like sort of like deflate and wither and writhe as you do so, and it howls and it pulls its gaping maw off of Sal and stumbles backwards, sort of like launching you off of it. You're just not very strong. You can't stay attached. However, you get a taste for this just sludge. This is not vitae. This is not blood. Ugh.
Oh no, it's Baja Blast, isn't it?
Yo, I will not have Baja Blast like besmirched in this house. Yeah, it's Baja Blast. You are going to go. You're going to need to roll a resolve composure, or a resolve stamina.
Oh boy.
As you taste this muck in your mouth, this ghost muck. This is not This is not Ecto Cooler. This is not the awesome high C juice you were promised.
I'm gonna rouse my blood and let's do this. Four successes.
You stave off what would be some aggravated damage as you spit it and convulse, like hurling this stuff from you. You would gain a hunger, but you stave that off too. Whatever, like iron gullet with those nasty bags. You're like, I've drank a couple like outdated bags in my day, you know. And so like whatever it is that you
I've had an O negative.
Yeah, type O negative. Yo, you besmirching Baja Blast and Pete Steele in the same night?
Minus, the episode Pix immediately dies.
-1 XP.
Oh, time to find sundown while we're here in the Shadowlands.
Right. Sundown. Start. No. Kidding. No. You whatever it is, like you just manage to like convulse it out before it gets inside, and it just plays mayhem with your kindred anatomy.
Oh yeah, I'm just God, that tastes like shit.
But it's dissipating. It's not dead, but it's not okay. It's kind of TKO'd. But shit, is that fucking thing recovering? Like I said, it deflated. It spewed this ichor, but those sort of gnarled shadow hands and the whispers, they just seem to be beckoning it back.
Sal, we gotta go now. Take me to that fucking tree. Let's go.
So Sal weighs the situation. Like, this thing is going to take some time. I think the tree is reachable, or do I think I need to
You could go
put it
for like
down?
coup de grace, right? Like you could try to
Yeah,
finish it off. The
'cause
tree
'cause
is reachable, but
I'm going to give you this information. I've spent 5 of my 6 willpower. I'm at hunger 3, and I plan on rousing. So
What could
I
go wrong?
don't know that I can make the best decisions now, is what I'm saying. Maybe I can. I don't know how that works, but Sal is in a interesting place in his.
I think Sal thinks finishing this thing off is the only course of action, and you've got picks being like, Sal, the tree, get us to the tree type thing.
So I rouse the blood,
Hell yeah.
and I just sense weakness. And Sal is a predator, and in this place and time, that is what he does and focuses on. Is he has a chance to kill this thing, to in his mind, to make this a sound victory in the presence of the tree, where he considers, like, not his domain in the city, but this is his domain. And let's see if the dice betray me, and they maybe do.
So it has defense 1 right now. So take out one of those successes.
Is that armor?
No, armor's different.
No. Okay.
So you basically get 5 successes against it.
What happens if you burn your final willpower?
Bad things.
Bad things. Okay.
Hang on to it.
Hang on to that one. Okay.
Like if I do the like I would never be an evil ST. I would never wait for the coterie to burn all of its resources, be at its absolute end, and then really actually let the bad stuff start to happen. Like as if every encounter and every conflict you're ever in is just raising stakes.
Right.
So,
never. You'd never do that to us.
I would never do that to you. But if I did, I could punish you.
And I was the masochist.
That would be me at my most sadistic.
Sal is for sure a masochist. Let's not. He deserves this in his mind.
All right. Yeah. So, no. That was actually like a really soulful like moment too, like a little insight into Sal. Yeah. So you go for the coup de grace. Your claws add 2. That's 7 ag to this thing that's recovering. You plunge your fist through that stupid fucking mouth. It had the audacity to try to eat Salvatore. And you reach all the way down through its throat to wherever its beating heart must be. You find it hollow in there instead, so you grab the next best thing, which is its spine, and you frickin' tear and crush it in this gnarled, tree-ridden mitt of yours, and it fucking explodes into that weird viscous crap that pigs just spit everywhere. I can't top viscous sand, so I'm not even going to try. Broad strokes, everybody.
This is why Sal is a spicy meatball.
Sal revels in this. I mean, Pixie's the only witness to this, but Sal just, coated in ichor and gore and suit shredded and tree limbs. Like, you probably see the root structure pulsing with that just necrotic blackness of oblivion, as Sal gives as much back to the Shadow Freight tree as he has taken.
I'm going to have you increase 1 in hunger.
That puts me at 4.
But the tree is a beacon. It glows silver. And like the rave, it has that tinsel strand that goes infinitely up and infinitely down coming out of it now.
Let's go home.
Are we not gonna... we'll talk Mortal Kombat later. Holy fucking shit, yeah, let's go home.
You fought well.
Oh, shucks, now you're just flattering me. You ripped its fucking spine out, Sal. I was just doing what I had to.
The things we do to survive. And Sal will step towards that silver thread, kind of ushering Pixie with.
All right. You reach the threshold. We're back with the coterie. Ben's got some sort of spell. Sarah's there. You're all hungry right now, right? I've got 4 hunger over on Sal.
I only have 1.
Yeah, I mean, I just had some werewolf. Cass is only at 1.
I'm at
Sarah's
3, baby.
Sarah's at 3, right? Pix is at 3. That's a majority percentage. You're all hungry. Sorry. Sarah, you don't know what the fuck Ben's doing. They're, I don't know, fucking burning incense or some shit. Fucking candles. Who knows? Drawing some shit with chalk. You think it's chalk. You hope it's chalk. It smells way worse than chalk can smell. But powdery. Oh god, that's not like some condensed like corpse ash or something like that. Oh, fuck did you get into? I don't want to bother you after that whole letting your darkness, you know. But you need to feed. They haven't told you about it properly, but you need to eat. We need to eat. And you hear that voice in your head again.
Well, right now we need to go find.
No, that's Sarah's. Sera hears this. I love you, Kicker. Thank you so much.
Hey guys. I think I feel hungry. But I'm not sure if that's what this is. Like, rumbling in my stomach. Kind of getting a little antsy, angry.
Oh, it's not a rumbling in your stomach. It's like a rumbling in your core. Like, is that your soul?
So rumbling in my stomach.
Can a soul feel hungry?
If you need food, you can always go down to the bar and talk to Angela.
And then what?
She'll show you.
Are you thinking quote unquote wine bottles or a vessel? Doll.
It's a doll.
Doll? Okay.
She's a failed actress, so she can be whatever she needs to be for whatever feeding type she's feeding.
Loophole.
You like that?
I don't know how I feel about that. But I guess I don't know how else. Fuck this.
When you get hungry enough, you either take that option or you find yourself eating a kid on the street. Your choice.
Ben looking up from like drawing like a cool little squiggle circle thing.
Been there, done that, have the t-shirt. Not a great time.
I mean,
Wouldn't recommend.
I appreciate a good
1
view
star
on
on
it.
Yelp.
I'll give a thumbs up to that review. Not a good time. I mean, you
All
just
right.
saw. You just saw what it did to the little bat.
You firmly recall, Pixie. Like, you've had words with Trixie, but like that, what you saw in that exchange with Thomas, the way she like lunged at that, like basically the corpse of Caius, like fucking hell. There's no movie that's ever captured that. You know, no pop culture reference that even computes. That was primal. And Cass is implying that can happen to you? And Ben said that could happen to you and some poor fucking kid?
I guess I don't have much choice right now, do I?
You do not.
Hey, who do I go see and how do I get there?
Angela, she'll be downstairs by the bar.
Upstairs. Or no,
All
are
right.
you doing this in your office? Like you've pushed all the books to like the edge and there's like a fucking amazing. I love the visual better. Like all the books and stuff, like you've even that's great.
Ankle
How-
deep and all sorts of shit.
Yeah, I love it.
How long does this take? Like, what can I expect?
It's going to be a little different for everybody. It's a very personal, intimate experience.
What if I don't like it?
I don't think you like the alternative much either. Unless you have a strong stomach like Pix, or you want a tan.
That's meta. Well, no, because she does blood bags.
All right, and you guys are going to be here when I'm done? Do I just come back up here?
Yeah.
Do I tip her? Like, is there etiquette
She's already
toward
paid.
this?
I'm already paying for her nursing degree.
All right, I guess I'll see you on the other side.
Ben Sahar
Just don't kill her.
is some kind of a bastard, and I kind of love it. Sorry, I broke kayfabe there. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, at that point, I'll head out of the office and find my way downstairs. Look for Angela.
Do you have a description for Angela, or do you want me to riff on something?
So Angela is a 5'11", tall, blonde. She came to California to be an actress from Nebraska. You know, the typical Midwesterner actress story. And when that didn't work out, Ben discovered her and from contacts and ended up helping her find herself. It also happens to be good to have a nurse on the payroll.
Write out my next character.
Is she gonna Bruja, right? Like next up, because you've dodged Bruja twice now. Angela the Bruja, love it. Make a note.
By the way, all my staff have names and backstories.
I actually love that. That makes you an even more magnificent bastard. Because you've thought about this is like malice aforethought.
I told you, all of the people that I employed are basically ex-cons, just got out of drug rehab, failed dreams. Those are the people I collect. That's why That's why I wanted Francis too.
I've been studying with Scott on how to properly create a retinue. So expect Sal's, criminal element to only improve as I've been taken under the wing of an experienced player.
Oh, goody.
An experienced bastard.
I'm gonna have two bastards to deal with. See, but I'm liking Papa
Are they
Sal's,
inglorious?
like, dad. Yeah. I'm with magnificent bastard to not get sued.
Not Inglorious.
Not Inglorious. The best part of that is actually like the cinema scene at the end and the true main character.
All right, so how far down do I have to go? Like, is this like sub-basement level 3 or just like
No,
kitchen?
you just have to go down 2 flights of stairs. It's a pretty straight shot to the hallway from where my office is, to then go to the end of the hall, go downstairs, and go downstairs, and then you'll see the bar.
Angela's typically there.
That is her post for tonight. She showed up on the schedule.
You don't have to roll luck check. She did. She takes this shit seriously. So you see Angela, blonde, tall, though not as tall as Elizabeth, at her post. Sarah's, like, you're hungry on this, like, weird level. Stomach's growling, whatever, right? However you referred to it. But this feels like somehow, like wrong. Not like there's wrong and then there's wrong, but then there's this. It's like its own category. Like it doesn't. Like, yeah, you don't want to do what Trixie did, and no, you don't want to hurt a kid on the street. But there's just something, even with all of Ben Zahar's posturing and, I don't know. There's just something off. So you see Angela.
Hey, Angela, I take it?
Good evening, miss. Ben sent you.
Yeah. I'm assuming you know I.
I've got the champagne room prepared. Great spread of beverages and entertainment. This way. And she leads you sort of up and off the like another set of stairs and scaffolding, and then up to the champagne rooms, which is sort of like opposite and around the other side of the lofted area, to where Ben's office is, to one of the champagne rooms. Not to be confused with the VIP booths, which are at the rear.
As she walks, I'll be kind of trailing behind her. Like I'm not walking as fast. I'm taking in, like, looking at the rooms that I pass, looking at any signs, just trying to keep my bearings about where I'm going in this place in case I need to come back out the same way. In a hurry.
Got it. So you're led into the the champagne room. It's really just code for discreet vampire feeding room. Like it's they champagne room means something else elsewhere, but it's just for Kindred here. And she was like, so
The VIVV bedroom.
what was that?
I was just saying it's like the VIVP room, the very important vampire room.
Yeah, very important vampire room. I like it. Yeah, this is where Mark Hamill comes, like in the fucking cape. Normal human bartender downstairs. Sorry, Tyler, normal human bartender. There's a whole other headcanon I've now spun off from this series. Sorry. So you're let in, and she's like, so usually Ben's clients have a preference. No, she can tell that you're nervous. She's like, you don't look, just don't take it all. It'll be all right.
How do I know when to stop? How do I know when it's not all?
When you feel my heartbeat, stop.
When I feel your heart beat.
You'll know.
So that's the blood doll, right?
Angela. She's like, you can go full Dracula if you want.
Is Angela the blood doll, or is Angela...
Angela is the
bartender?
blood doll. Yeah. She walks in and she stands in there.
Okay.
She's like, okay, so you can go full Dracula. And she like points at like her clavicle. She's like, just lick it afterwards. It'll seal. Your saliva does that. If you want something less, cartoon villain, arm works pretty handily. And I don't do the weird stuff. Ben's got other girls for that, and guys, and a few NBs on staff.
She'll take a moment to pause and think back. It's like, okay, so how did Elizabeth do this? She made it look easy.
And it was a blur every time you were in ecstasy. It took you someplace else.
Do you enjoy this?
There's a euphoria with it. It's chemical. It's there's a speech in a movie about a shmoo, she says, which is an animal that loves to be eaten, mythical creature. I'm told that there used to be 6-foot penguins that had no fear of a natural predator in the Arctic. I don't know, Antarctic or Arctic. I can confuse which one has actual penguins. 6-foot tall penguins. They had no natural predators. They're 6-foot tall penguins. And when man showed up, they walked right up and just got eaten. Imagine that being fun. That's what this is.
You look like you're almost 6 foot tall, and you let me walk right up to you.
I'm the penguin. Just, again, stop when you hear the heartbeat. Those
And
penguins
you're here.
went extinct.
You're here of your own volition. You're not being manipulated into this. You're not.
No, Ben pays me, and he's paying for college. They pay me. They're paying for college. There's no coercion. There's other folks who end up here. I'm gonna tell you this. She looks around. There's like places where we're one to hide cameras, and if you work at a place like this, you just assume, but that's neither here nor there. I don't know what Ben does, personally. Look, Ben Sahar collects lost souls. So there's a degree of, late-stage capitalist coercive forces to it all. But yeah, I'm here. There's Kindred, that's what you call yourselves. Out there who use Jedi mind tricks and shit to get us to do this. I'm here because he pays. He pays well. Good healthcare. And when I'm done, I'm done. No strings attached. My terms. It's hard to find employment that good these days. And sure, I get my rocks off a couple times a week. Whatever.
Are you happy with this?
Who's happy with work? In pieces. I'm happy. That's all I can ask for.
All right, I'm going to need a minute, I guess. Can we go sit down?
The place is decently outfitted, like I said. This is the Kindred special.
Yeah, so I'll get her to sit down. I'll sit down beside her. Probably to her left. And then Kind of look at her one more time, then pick up her arm and go for the wrist.
So a couple things happen. The beast sort of takes over. This is vitae. This is why you exist. This is your heroin. This is your ecstasy. This is what you need. But your mind goes back to that first night. Distorted, dark as it all was. Something's wrong. Like, and you're feeding. It's instinctual. It happens. It's as natural as Elizabeth made it look. You got this. You figure this out. You even start to kind of like, at first you sort of like the vibrations through the flesh and the bone and the jaw like start to hit your sort of brain, and you can start to feel her pulse. And like I said, this is good. It's what you live for. And you're not quite to the heartbeat yet that she was warning you about, and is you're doing what Elizabeth did. This is it, and you look up and you see Angela's like eyes sort of like gloss over, and she's someplace else. Her face rolls back. She's fine. She's practiced. She's making this easier. She's even like holding your other hand. But something's wrong. This isn't like the first night. The first night felt right.
It doesn't taste the same.
Yeah. And then you feel her heartbeat in your teeth. Your beast. No, it doesn't taste the same at all. It doesn't taste the same at all, but just, we're so hungry. You don't know what you're into. Can you really tell if you like a meal if you don't finish it? If you just eat the breadsticks at the beginning? No. You finish the steak. Then you decide.
With that, I would start trying to pull away.
You do. You feel wrong. I don't know. Does that one they kept calling Sundown, do they taste better? Or do they taste more right? Humans are still alive. You felt her heartbeat. You don't remember much about that night, but when you consumed Sundown, there was no conflict there.
It's condensed essences of many, many people all rolled into one, whereas this one's thin. It's not the same. It's more like water versus wine.
Yeah. A little bit of that, and then your civil rights activism comes in, that little, maybe it's what's left of the humanity. Says, vampires are monsters. Who cares if you kill a monster? That's not the beast's voice. That's your voice. Fuck monsters. We fought monsters our whole life. Fucking politicians, fucking men, fucking assholes in power who don't deserve it.
And now we have the power to do more.
Fucking A.
Are you okay? Are you...
She's like...
Did I stop enough?
She's a little like lulled and a little woozy. She's like, no, that was great for a first time, she says. You felt it though, huh? You're different. She like kind of has one of those sobering moments as she sees your face, and like she's just like, you maybe forgot to like lick the wound, and she holds up her arm.
And then I'll comply.
You lick it. She's, thanks.
But then I'll hold on to it and like watch out of like fascination.
Oh, you see the flesh stitch back together like a sci-fi movie. Like your saliva just, maybe there's some weird thought at the back of your head like, why the fuck aren't we using vampire spit to like seal wounds or something? Or maybe that's what super glue is. I don't know.
It's vampire bats.
So is that it? Are you going to be okay? Do I need to...
Oh yeah, I get the rest of the night off, she says. She smiles.
Should I get you a cookie and some orange juice?
No, I'm fine. I'm just gonna... And she like it's like the high back couch with like huge floofy independent cushions, that are like piled too deep. And she like, no, I'm just gonna vibe for a minute. And she's whatever your experience was, you remember how you felt after Elizabeth? She's in that right now. She's like awesome.
I'm sorry, I'm making this awkward.
No, like you're new and you're different. She smiles. Like usually your kind's all high and mighty right about now. You've got something else going on there.
Should I close the door on my way out? Let somebody know that you're here?
No, yeah, just leave. No one else has the key, she says, and she like holds up the key on her necklace.
All right, well, thank you. I don't know what to say after this. I'm gonna go. Thank you again.
No, thank you. And tell Ben he's a son of a bitch. Or daughter. I don't know.
Will do. And then I'll walk out the door and try and make my way back to the office.
Ben and Cass are completing the ritual at this point.
I'm going to hold off calling them a son of a bitch until they're done, because I don't know what interrupting this might do.
And your thoughts linger on that first night as you head into the ritual. And it comes back to you in some chunks, some other peripheral shit you forgot or didn't know about. But what you're focused on right now is that part of that night comes back is sundown. Like you get glimpses of pics and Thomas and the boot and all that. You go back to that night a little bit and that survival's urge or whatever it was, and you even hear Sundown like give out like a surprise ah! Wrong place, wrong time sort of thing.
Depends on your perspective.
Sure. Being a rat has got some hazards involved, trying to dig dirt when you know things are wrong. Yeah. No. But you remember that night, and you remember the condensed blood of Sundown. But this is where you feel wrong again. You took Sundown's blood. Nah. Monsters. Wine. That makes sense. But then you kept going. You didn't feel a heartbeat. You felt something else. Something forbidden. And you kept going. And as you took, you gave in that moment. A piece of you. A piece of Sera. A piece of your soul. To take Sundown's. And you can't stop thinking about that right now. As Ben Sahar completes the ritual as Pix and Sal reach the tinsel. Fuck. Fuck. You know what? You can't hurt me. You already tossed me off a fucking bridge. And that, pardon me, bitch ate me. So what the fuck are you gonna do? And Pix and Sal are standing at the tree reaching towards the tinsel, and you see this, like, ghost form trapped in the force, fucking Sundown standing beside it.
Well, aren't you a disgusting sight for sore eyes?
Look, this might be your last fucking insult, so be better, Pix. You're better.
Go fuck yourself, Sundown. You lost.
See, you say lost like you believe in sides. Like you chose one. Like you were playing one. Innocent little Pix, lost in big bad Milwaukee. I fell for it too. Fuck, I fell for it. Sal, you're here. You're present. In the room with Ben and Cass, Sera's voice, but Sundown's words.
Rat, who was there with you?
Oh, you wanna fucking trade information now?
There's no trading. You will tell me.
No, I'm beyond dead, Sal. Your threat scared me before, but, like, I'm going wherever this little eye in the sky goes.
I will find you wherever you go.
That's a little.
You want to get bound to some shit, Sundown? I'd listen to him.
That's a little extreme. You don't think that's a little extreme?
You don't think that coat means anything, do you?
I'm a phantom, an echo of a soul.
You're a morsel to be consumed.
Yeah, after
You're no different than you were when you were still on Earth, Sundown. You're just a tool, a means to an end. So serve that purpose.
I did you a solid, Pix.
A solid. You played right into my fucking hands.
You see? I gave you more than I should. Against my better judgment.
As if there were any there. So why don't you use that better judgment and answer the damn question?
You're fighting a three-headed snake. Pix et al. See, that's the abbreviation for end company. Your end company, Sal.
Sal is barely containing his ire, and he knows that here within the Shadowland he can't do this.
Did you take the ability to consume ghosts yet?
No,
Okay.
not yet.
All right.
Oh, damn it. I was
Like
counting
double
on that.
Diablery on Sundown?
Not
Missed
yet.
opportunities.
Quick, if you have
Yeah.
the points, do it now.
Yeah, spend it now. Yeah.
Do it now.
What's the
That
double
went-
Diablery? Oh my god, do you like...
So yeah, so Sundown's jacket will be retrieved because that has to be his fetter. Now that I think about it, like that must be. Maybe we'll see.
Sundown's soul has been consumed.
Okay,
Fetter's
this
not
is a
going to...
fragment. Okay,
Yeah, this is an echo of... Because Sera... You don't know this yet, but because Sera
yeah.
just...
Okay. Yeah.
So essentially it's kind of like a Ouija board going on to a soul that like Sera already consumed and is currently digesting, right?
So then Sal is, I mean, at the end of the day, a brutish monster. He has eyes of the beast for the Protean one before he got Protean 2. So like you see kind of they're not branches in the eyes, but there's like you know how a tree's branches cast these shadows. I think that's kind of what his eyes of the beast look like when he
Oh,
manifested.
like over the garden wall.
Yeah. So you see this kind of shadowy, like through the branches of the shadow fray light up his eyes, and he will just attempt to intimidate this figment, knowing that this is just an after effect of what sundown was, that he can't do anything to it, but will here at the base of the tree try to
you gotta go for it, right? So you're going for intimidation.
yes, strength and intimidation likely.
Sera, I would like for you to roll a willpower. God damn it, Sal.
Look at those hunger dice.
Yeah, first off, is my hunger down to 0 now? Or how does
It's
that
down to
work?
1.
Okay.
You were able to slake 2. We have a stain to resolve as well for you now.
No, we don't.
Welcome to the club.
It's a whole lot of 3. You know what? I'm going to... should I roll willpower? Willpower?
You can if you want.
Oh, hey, this isn't showing to everybody. Yeah, let's do it.
Storytelling. Dear chat gang.
Did that work? That worked.
All about stakes. Raising the stakes.
As long as Hunter's turned around.
What does a character want in the scene? What's stopping them from getting it?
All right, so I don't know if you've seen this, but I've got 5 successes.
You push. So what happens?
Push, yeah. Now,
so normally
quick
tie
question.
goes to player. It's 2 players. Is what's happening here. So like Sera on the other side of the ritual, like feels Sal's like intensity. You don't know it's like Sal per se. You're not tripping the riff the same way. You've sort of zoned out. But like this figment of this extension of yourself just got intimidated. And you feel like a little threatened. But then you're like, nah, fuck that. Right? So like you have a little bit of that go on. You were about to say something there?
yeah. Never mind. Eyes of the Beast is only +2 dice against mortals, and this is not a mortal. So never mind.
I'm gonna go with the narrative. What were you gonna say, Sera?
Nothing.
Okay. Yeah, so you have this moment of like feeling this like, you know, the eye of Mordor upon you, and you're like, nah, fuck that, like double guns. But you feel that there's this is the first step of like sort of you've zoned out, the Ouija board effect has happened. When you walked into the room at the wrong moment, this is the first time of you like getting a vibe and a feeling and just like, and because in the room, Cass and Ben Sahar hear you saying Sundown's words. And this is the first time that Sera sort of like becomes aware of kind of what's going on. And you're present in the moment now too. Like you're not in control, so it's a little bit of like a out of body experience for you. But you also have a security in knowing that it'll pass. Like you've had this whole like 3-part arc of feeding tonight. This is indigestion. Roll over onto your left side. You'll be alright. But sorry to be crass with that one. But like you're you have this awareness suddenly that like Sundown and you're thinking of Sundown and you have this out of body experience. Back to the other side of the veil. You're fighting a three-headed snake. I don't know. Oops. Seems at all over here. Just woke Sleeping Beauty up. I don't know how much more time you got left with me. I can't exactly dump everything I know. That would take a few months, years, lifetimes. Three-headed snake. Yes, the Sabbat are real, they're here. Anarchs are trying to come back into, and Decker ain't an idiot.
He's going fucking crazy?
Yes, that's the problem. Decker's not dumb. But this city fucks every prince that ever takes it over it. And it doesn't unfuck you when you get power. He knew it going in. He was one of the only ones that knew it going in. So he buffered it. Fail-safes. Backup plans. I don't know them all. I just know Decker ain't a fucking idiot. But that fucking asshole, unlike any of you and I without a beating heart, has some care left for the kind. Some, like, die on a hero's fucking hilltop moment in his fucking head. That's why I think honor gets to him. She was supposed to succeed him. And she left before he could tell her the plan. So now it's unraveling, and he's scrambling. And he's not in his best mind anymore. Milwaukee's taken her hold. It's too late for the tyrant prince. And whoever assumes the throne next. You think Lucy turned it down out of benevolence? You think Abigail's here for reinforcements? This place is bigger than all of us. That's why I loved it. So many secrets. So many buyers.
You self-serving son of a bitch.
I am what I am.
Is there anything of him here, like physically or spirit? Like how real does it feel? Can Sal like?
Oh, you can grab him.
grab
Yeah,
on?
yeah.
So Sal takes his hand just around Sundown's throat here, like full on,
Look,
and pulls him forward and says,
this raspy
"Who
tenor is hard to make.
was there?" Just roaring at him, like full on. I can't compel spirit because I don't have a fetter, but rules be damned. That's what I'm trying to do.
I'll allow you to roll half the dice pool of that.
All right. Oh, how do I do a half? So that's just a Oblivion ceremony roll. So I think that's Oblivion. I'll just roll Oblivion.
Okay.
I'm just going to roll 3 dice because I don't know how the hell to do this. So I'll just roll Resolve. That didn't do it. Damn it. Never mind.
What
Doesn't work.
what am I rolling against? What's the opposition?
So compel spirit is I make the ceremony roll. It's if these traits aren't defined, if they have no way of physically threatening the fetter, the player must also make manipulation, intimidation, difficulty equal to the wraith's resolve plus composure. And if I roll more successes than the resistance, it would work. Because I don't have a way to harm it, so it would be manipulation plus intimidation.
So you got to roll a manipulation or an intimidation right now.
Yeah,
So you have one success to do the thing.
Yeah, I don't know how to remove a skill.
I'm going to give you 2 successes. How about that? And I'm going to roll against it with my pool.
Perfect.
It's a push. So, tie goes to player. He's not going to give you everything. Look, this raspy tenor, hard to let go.
The cell just slightly loosens, but keeping like the fingers there, ready to just rip out a throat.
Look, I don't want my, dying memory to be of your fucking greasy Italian sausages around my neck.
Cell will release him and then just kind of stare those tree shaded eyes into him.
You're gonna let him clan, I thought, over Coterie.
Looks at Pix.
The dead have no clan.
And you especially, Sundown. I'll tell you what your clan is. It's Sundown. Always has been. You're just stupid enough to cross me.
Look out for that one. A bunch of nobodies. I don't expect you to care about the name you're looking for, though. Arjun was there. Shaw. The judge. Had some lackeys. And, you know who was there earlier? Before Arjun showed up? Lucy. I don't know why. Couldn't speculate what with getting my soul sucked out and all. But that seems like some pretty deep shit for everybody. Oh, and your sire was there. Last words I heard was something about an old friend.
When he said Sire was there, was that to Pixie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Pixie's eyes are just wide.
You know, we used to work together, him and I. Went back a long way.
You were useful. You were an end.
You were useful, too. Didn't expect my end that way.
You're not important to him.
Neither.
Thompson's the one who bonded to me.
You're not important either, sis.
And with that... Sera, you're back in control of yourself.
And Sundown waves as he fades. one final time. Looks a little bit more like a sunset to me, don't you think?
Basking in the silver glow of the tree. We can call it there.
Oh my god.
It's
Oh,
true.
hell yeah.
It's true.
Also, respect tribal sovereignty and land back.